Hi and welcome back. We have Kiki in the building again. So we did a video together on parenting some time ago, and seems like we should do another video. You're here anyway. So these videos are not planned. I don't know what we're even talking about in this one. We'll figure it out as we go. Just share ourselves, share our knowledge or whatever we learn. Yeah. And I think let's talk about the society. I have concern about the society we live in, especially here in Nigeria and even across the world. But okay, let's talk about our personal experience here in Nigeria. My concern, let me share this, is that I think values in society has degraded over time. I'm sure my parents would say the same thing when I was a child, that my generation it was degraded, and now I'm saying it that the next generation, and it just seems like continuously we're going we're getting less what's the word? Yes, less sane. Right? We're increasing our insanity. Okay, but my concern is social media and the impact of that on value system, culture system, identity. Young people, there's so much I don't understand about social media. I mean, because why we put so much pressure on ourselves from social media, I don't get it. I'm probably old school. I don't go to Instagram every day. There are days there are weeks that for a whole week I don't go to Instagram. 2 weeks I don't play there. That's not my playground. I have a lot to do. I don't go there. Well, once in a while I go there to post something, to read about something, to wish somebody a happy birthday, to catch up on some things. But my use case is different from the average young person, teenagers and people in their 20s and 30s today, who spend a lot of time. They live there on social media. And this can have a toll on how you see life. In fact, I believe that the perception of a 20-year-old youth today about life, who is very active in social media, is very different from my perception. I think that it's been influenced heavily by just this new life. It's like the metaverse or something. This life out there. Let me start by asking you, Kiki, what's your take on that? Do you think social media has that kind of a strong influence on the next generation of adults we are going to have, or do you think it's something we're just overplaying it?
No, I don't think we're overplaying it. I feel that's the new world. The new world is social media.
Yeah.
So they've left analog. We are now a digital generation, a digital age, that everything that is going on must be on social media. The other time, I was interviewing a Jide. Jide is an IT specialist, and he says if you're not active on social media, your business or your brand is dead. Yeah. It doesn't exist.
The business world of today has to be active on social media,
or else it is not alive. It's not a thriving business. And so basically they're telling you, without social media, count yourself out
of what's
really going on. I mean, you may have your own nice, cute corner somewhere, and some other old school people with you, but there's not much impact. There's not much relevance without social media. So social media is a social ill, but it's also a necessity. It's a necessity.
Okay, so let's talk about pressure. When I was growing up, when you were growing up, we knew this pressure of the girl child, or the young female. If she gets to a certain age and she's not married, there's pressure from society. And from my father's generation, it was even worse. It's like a taboo for a girl not to be married. So everybody's trying to help you get married. Everybody's on your case, trying to connect you with one guy, trying to take you to church to pray for you while you're not finding a husband on time. Something is definitely wrong if you have a spirit husband also. There's concern, huge concern for a young girl who's not married. Today, I find pressure of girls who are not in relationships. I'm talking of young people in 19, 21. She doesn't have a boyfriend, and she's feeling as much pressure as the 35-year-old girl in my generation who was not married. And I think part of that is coming from the fact that every time she goes on social media, she's seen her classmate, her friend that's just had a new boo or babe, and things are happening, you know. And
night.
And they're saying, God, when? And we laugh about it because for us, it should just be a play. I mean, you don't take it that serious. But I'm telling you from my personal experience that these kids are really, really affected by this. They're thinking something is wrong with me. You know, I interact with the young people a lot. They're thinking that there's something really wrong with me, that I don't have a boyfriend or I don't have a girlfriend. And it affects their self-esteem. Some are even going into depression just from going on social media to see how other people's life is so complete, all is okay, whereas it's just all false, it's all packaging. Everybody that has a picture on social media, that's the best version of them, that's the best version of their situation. There's a whole lot of story they are not telling you. You know, when they're eating their best meal, it's on social media. When they're eating their worst meal, you don't see that. When they're skipping meals because they don't have money, you don't see that part. When they're wearing their best dress, it's on social media. But when they're managing all the other, you don't see that part of it. Nobody lives the real, full, true life on social media. My question is, how do we get our young people to accept this reality so they don't take this pressure on themselves?
I think part of what we're doing now will help because we need more people to put their.
So we need to have the conversation.
The conversation has to start and it has to trend.
And we have to have it in places that matter, in schools, in churches.
Yes.
I think the church has to play a role in this.
Because the way I view social media is a perfect example is where you take a photo on your phone or something and you immediately go to edit and you go to beautify and you max
and you add filters.
You put the filters. So social media is a life that is filtered. You don't show, even when you're taking the selfie, somebody said, no, don't take me on this side. This is my pretty side, or this is my beautiful side. That's what we do.
You don't take it in the morning when you wake up. You have to wear the makeup.
Toward the window, where the sun is just at the right angle. That's it. It's all about packaging. It's all about presenting the best part to the world. And that's not real life. That's not real life. You won't see your favorite star post about how depression, they struggled with depression.
How they had a serious argument with their spouse, how their child was rude to them, how they're bankrupt and the banker is on their case.
You won't do that until you see maybe a news flash. Somebody just committed suicide and then they tell you has been battling depression for 20 years and you, what? How?
Yeah.
So it's an empty life. It's an empty shell where you dig into a hole thinking there is something there and you keep going into the hole and it doesn't end. So that's it. It's a rabbit hole. It doesn't end.
So the point you're making is that we need to be intentional to have the conversation.
Oh yes.
To talk to our young people. Because it is a real situation. We should not just, throw it on the side and say that they'll be fine.
It's actually like a drug. It's just like we're
like an addiction.
With addiction of drugs and the menace on the streets with substance abuse. This is a substance.
Social media abuse.
Is a substance.
Because social media is supposed to be a good thing. We're supposed to live our life. Partly they do business, they interact. It gives us more opportunities. Before, back in the days, if we were married 30 years ago.
We met on Facebook. Well, officially.
Yeah, we met in church, but we hooked up on Facebook, and that's how we got to connect.
That's when we actually knew you.
Very important.
He knew me in church. There are people out there seeing me on stage singing, but I didn't know him until we
I
met.
digged you out on Facebook.
So
social media can be used for good things, but the point of today's conversation is don't take the pressure from what you see on social media and put it upon yourself until you're not feeling so heavy, so depressed, and feeling like there's something wrong with you. You are not good enough. It's happening for all your friends. It's not happening for you. It's all fake. They're going through their challenges just like you are. Everybody's path is different. So please don't take that pressure. I feel we can't overemphasize that. Don't take that pressure on yourself. The other thing we need to say is social media now depriving us of real life? Social media is an important part of our life, but we still need to walk down the road. We still need to take a walk. We still need to engage people physically. We say to go visit somebody, have a handshake, a physical hug, not emoji hug. Do you think that social media is slowly removing that human touch to our relationships?
I think it is. I remember a friend of mine, I think we talked, we hadn't talked for months. And it felt like I had seen her just yesterday because you've been connected. Interact on social media. So we feel closer to the people we love, but it's not real. You've not seen their faces, you don't know. I mean, you haven't looked into their eyes and said, how are you?
See, if your friend loses a family member, go visit them. Give them a hug and tell them,
the old school way.
God bless you. Yeah. Because there's no amount of emojis you are going to send that will pass that expression. I mean, that touch, that human engagement. Nothing can replace that. I think we need to, pay attention to that.
Yes, balance it and just...
I mean, there's traffic in Lagos. You can't go to everybody's house every day, but try once a while to check up on your guys physically. You know, how are they doing? You know, like it's like church.
Yes.
Now we have e-church after the pandemic, and then
people have refused.
People don't want to go back to church anymore. We're okay.
But
we'll join online.
Interestingly, I talked to a friend of yours, Zubairu, and he says he's never had church this good, watching from home.
Yes.
Because he felt he's more concentrated. He's not distracted about what to wear, what time he's driving to church. He says he listens to the word. He's so blessed. He has grown in quantum leaps.
So do you think we should emphasize or at least encourage people to still go back to church?
Yes, because there's nothing like the gathering of God's people, and there's a particular way God moves when we are together.
And when we are together, when you are having online church, I feel it's you and the minister. The fellowship of the brethren is missing. So when I sit beside you in church and the pastor says sometimes, give me a high five. Sometimes I notice how you give me that high five. And after the service, I'm going to say, sister, are you okay? And I can see your eyes when you're answering me, and maybe you're not okay, but you're saying, I'm okay. And I can tell. And that brotherliness, that bond,
that
fellowship and care, we can't reproduce that effectively on social media.
Only have the church family. They don't have anything else.
It's a huge part. I mean, if you grew up in church like me, church is a huge part of our whole existence.
True.
Our connection, our circles. Church is a huge part of that. But that's just church. So let's go back to social media before we round up this. I mean, we don't want it to be a long video. We're just chatting.
How many minutes?
We have probably like 10, 11, almost 12 minutes. Okay. So, social media. There is an observation. You know, I work with young people a lot. You have a child in the university, young adult, late teenage, and they're broke. Most students in university are broke because their parents are struggling to pay all the bills, and you know, so a lot of. But you send this child 10K or 20K. You know the first thing they're going to buy? Data.
Yes.
Sometimes they have physical needs. They're not eating well. They need to put what's that? A mosquito. The thing used to kill the mosquito. The fleet. Whatever. You need to spend money on that. There are physical needs that are important. But the first thing you are going to do is go and sub 2K or 5K from MTN, because for you that's the most critical. So it tells us our priority. That being disconnected. I mean, there was a day that Facebook and Instagram was down for oh my God, and everybody was
the world went black.
I couldn't care less, but that's me. Do you think, as much as social media is important, now the point here is that social media is very important, and as parents, I think we lost an opportunity when social media started to come up a couple of years, decade ago. That we at first we were resisting it, and our children were getting into it. The young, but we were don't go there. I think we didn't embrace the opportunities
to
integrate our parenting and all that with social media, because
adapt it
and not keep them away from it. I mean, there's an age you have to keep them away from it, but as they begin to grow into it, we need to integrate into it ourselves as parents. Okay, but do you think it can be too much in terms of the young child now, the young adult, spending too much time?
Oh, definitely. I feel they already spend too much time because for me, I believe we need to engage them outside of social media. When we were growing up, we would go outside to play. We would, go to the neighbor's house, ride our bicycles. We need to encourage that as they grow.
We see young. Now you bring this point about riding the bicycle. You don't see many young people doing that anymore.
Because you're thinking of safety.
They are
okay, just generally.
Young adults are in the room doing this, and they can be okay from morning till evening in a room, just doing their phone.
But guess what? They're watching us, and we're doing this all day too.
Yeah, but I'm saying, you go to work, you come back, and you spend 1 hour on social media. The young adult who just graduated from school and doesn't have a job, it's okay to be in the room
all day
and be doing this from morning till night. He's not going to break away and say, I'm just going to take a walk down the estate, I'm going to see a friend, I'm going to hang out.
Which is where parenting comes in, because a child doesn't know. A child will eat all the chocolates in a basket if you
unless somebody teach them.
Somebody says, no, that's enough. So we take a child for a walk. I take them out. Let's go for a drive. Let's go for a walk. Let's listen to some music. We can't leave this children.
Please, if you're a young adult watching us just now, please, I'm begging you. I think you should be very intentional in interrupting your day, your social media time. Interrupt it. I think you should be very intentional about that. I think we have to. If you're a young adult, if you know that you're always doing this, and we've talked about taking the pressure from social media, but just the time, the sheer time you spend there, you deprive yourself of living physically, hanging out, taking some sunlight, for example. Sunlight is very good for your health. Exercising, taking a walk,
stretching
your legs, your body, hanging out with people, learning society, learning some street life, and not just social media life.
True.
Know how to survive in the street. You need to be out there. Know your neighbors.
Make friends with
I
people
think we should
road.
Please do that. Please, we're begging you, do that. Please, because it is a serious issue. This whole thing of social media. The last point I want to talk about: depression. We just talked about this before a little bit, but I know a couple of young people who I believe. I used to think they were just joking when they say I'm depressed, but they are really depressed. I've gone closer and I found that they're really depressed. Really depressed. And if you're a young person, please, let's say it again. That life is fake on social media. It's not real. It's not representative.
Don't let it be the one to make you depressed.
Let it push you to depression. You have so much going on for you. You're beautiful. That you didn't have all the makeups to look the extra. You're beautiful. You're intelligent. You're smart. You're not the poorest guy in the block. Don't go and start doing Yahoo because you think everybody has something to post and you are not posting something. Be content with your life, your real life. The Bible says godliness with contentment is great gain.
And then the Bible says comparing yourselves one to another is not wise. What does that mean? It is foolish.
Yes.
So when you start to compare, you're comparing yourself to David.
That they have this and I don't have it.
And
they have that and you have a great life.
No.
You have so much to die for and to live for. So don't drift.
And then if you get off social media, you can make something of your life.
Yes.
So that you can have something to post
real. While you are on the phone, you can't make anything. You have to go out there and do the hustle. Go and do something. And then you can have something to post.
Discover yourself. There's so much. The advantage of the social media is so much more than the disadvantage.
Yes.
You can reach more people.
It gives you an additional.
A world of contacts and clients and potential, market for whatever it is you have to sell or whatever your talent is. So it's better to spend time to work on that thing. Yeah. Discover who God made you, what He put inside of you. That's what the world is waiting for. The world needs you.
Spend time to work on your relationship so that you have something to post.
Exactly.
As against faking it. Somebody say fake it until you make it. So let's fake that we are working. Let's smile. Let's smile to the camera. But aside the camera, we're not talking. We're boning each other full time. But let's just one for the gram.
Yeah.
Let's smile. Instead of faking it, let's keep the selfie camera.
Yeah, drop the phone.
And let's work on why we are not smiling outside the camera. Let's work on what is the issue. Why am I broke unless when I'm pretending? What can I do to my economy? Why am I unemployed? Why do I look fat? Because you think you're fat, and then when you want to take a picture, you stuck in your tummy. Why am I good on the picture? Why can't I be good in real life? So do I need to work out? Do I need to watch what I eat? Let's make the change in the real life.
For real.
Then we can have something real to post on social media, as against faking it all the time. Anyway, we just wanted to chat. How did we even get here? I think we have to stop now.
Yeah.
The video is long enough. So Kiki, thank you very much for always bumping into this studio.
It's becoming more fun.
Yeah.
Adding some color to your production.
What are you feeling like now? Yeah, but I think it's fun to have you. By the way, a lot of the things you see in this studio, this is the brains behind. She does all the setup, the colors. She tells me where this book is going to go to and all that kind of. She beautifies the place. And she's telling me now that there's no green in the studio, so we need to put some flowers somewhere, put some flower back. We're going to work on that. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you learned something today. I hope whatever we said made sense to you at some point. If you're a young person, please take it seriously, the advice we're giving about trying to have a life and avoid going to the red zone of depression and sadness. Watch your mental health. Don't believe everything you see on social media. Disconnect once in a while, have a life. Don't feel like you are disadvantaged. You are blessed. See all the other things about yourself and work out your life better. Try not to live a fake life, and don't believe everything you see on social media. Thank you for watching. Please leave a comment below if you have questions, if you want to engage us on any conversation, if there's something you want to talk, if there's something you want us to talk about in another video, please leave a comment and tell us, and we'll think about whether we can do that on a subsequent video. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please do click that red subscribe button. It's not that hard, you understand? Just click it, it's underneath, just click it. And while you are there, ding the notification bell so you get notified when we have new videos. Like the video if you like it, give it a thumbs down if you don't like it. It's okay, we receive any feedback. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.